Welcome back, family. This is your boy Jeremiah King on the Code Bruh podcast. Today's episode is talking about the cheater myth. True or false? Once a cheater, always a cheater. What's the answer to this question? I got this question in one of my DMs, and she was very interested to know, does it make sense? Is it true that once a cheater, always a cheater? So, in this episode, I'm going to dive into the details from a man's perspective to give you that answer. So, you're going to have to stay all the way to the end so that way it makes sense. Because what I'm about to drop is not just the answer, but a lot of realities and the truth behind how men think. So, without further ado, let's jump right into the podcast. Again, this is Code Bro, the number one podcast for women who need a sidekick and a voice for the men. Number one, the truth is, it's not always the case, but it is likely. Now, once a cheater, always a cheater. Who knows? It depends on the person, right? It depends on many factors. There's a lot of things that go into why people cheat. And it's not just men, but it's also women. Women cheat almost just as much as men do. And it's even more common in today's society just because of the way we live. Sex is almost number one to people's priorities in life. And thanks a lot to porn. Porn has done a number on people's lives because we all look at sex in different ways, but at the same time, we do want that beautiful sexual experience. And I think that many times people see porn and they think that that's something they can get. It's kind of like everyone wants to be successful, right? Some people want to be rich or financially independent, and it's a thing that's possible and achievable, but it's almost a dream. It's a dream come true when you make it into a reality. And not everyone's going to be rich. Not everyone will be free. And so the same is true for sex. A lot of people can have a great sex life, but what porn shows, it's like a dream. So everyone is chasing that dream, and people are cheating more and more because of their needs not being met. As a therapist, I see it every time as a counselor in my sessions. And the number one reason why people separate, it's not just money, it's not just kids, but it's sex. Their sex, their sexual needs are not being fulfilled. And so when it comes to the question, once a cheater, always a cheater, is it a myth? And I said it's not always the case, but it is likely if somebody has cheated that they might cheat again. But they could also not cheat. Who knows until the end? Number one, the truth is, when I said it's not always the case, but it is likely. And the reason why I say that is because for men, if he had cheated before in a relationship, or even you just got into their relationship and you are just getting started, but he has shared a story with you in the past, he cheated on his ex, or maybe a few relationships ago. Is he going to cheat on you? The truth is, he is vulnerable and easily influenced or coerced. That's true because it's like a mirror that breaks and shatters. Can you put the pieces back together? Is it whole again as if it was brand new and never shattered? The answer is no, right? And these are pieces that this man has to pick up all together to understand himself more and to build his character, his leadership abilities, his manhood, and build up the strength and the tolerance to say no to woman outside of his relationship. It's like building a habit, a skill of being able to get back in the game and say, enough is enough. I will not cheat on my woman. And so, but the truth is, he's vulnerable and he's easily influenced. And depending on the issues in the relationship, it can make it that much harder. And so that's why it's more than likely that he could cheat again. But again, depends on his discipline, how strong of a man he is. He can go back to the old version of innocence, not cheating again. So it's possible. Number two, when I said it's not always the case, but it is likely. And the fact is, he has not healed of his addiction. Believe it or not, it's an addiction. Cheating is an addiction. Anything that has to do with habits or that serotonin or just that relief of satisfaction, whether it's any kind of addiction, smoking, drinking, weed, alcohol, wine, coffee, caffeine, porn, all these things are stimulants and we get drawn to it. Anything that makes us happy and just relieved, it becomes an addiction. So he hasn't healed if he cheated. 9 times out of 10, that man has a lot more healing to do. Because as men in general, we don't heal from things, we just move forward. And so, if you are a person of personal development and you're just always trying to learn and be better and do more and to do better, to be the best version of yourself, to be a better man, to be a better husband, to be a better father, then it's possible that he can heal faster than those who are not on that personal self development journey. Most men in today's society are not growing, they're dying inside. They are dying inside. That's why you, as a female, if you're a woman, listen to this, you have to find yourself a good man. Search from my episode on how to find the man of your dreams. That is the man you have to go for, because those who are not the man of your dreams and you're just working with them because you think he look good and he's driving a great car and maybe he looks sexy, right? That doesn't mean he's a good man. So these men today don't work on themselves and the capacity that you need to feel protected and to protect your heart and your mental state, your mentality, your sane mental health. So it's very possible that this man has not healed his addiction because they are habits and they have to actively work on that to not cheat. That's number two. Number three, I did say that not always the case that once a cheater is always a cheater, but it's more than likely. And it's because he most likely has not suffered enough. Now, if a man has cheated on you and you are staying by his side in hopes that he changes, it is possible for a man to change, but a man only changes on himself. You cannot make a man change. You can't force him to change. You can't tell him to change. You can't teach him to change. He has to have it within him. He has to wake up, have a reality check to say, I am going to change. That is what makes a man change, not you. Not his friends, not his family, not a mental therapist, not a psychologist, not a psychiatrist or medication. He has to be on his personal self journey and he has to change by making that commitment to change. So, more than likely, he has not suffered enough, kind of like that life or death scenario. If you ever have been in an accident, first of all, I'm sorry. All right, I'm sorry that you've been in an accident. And I'm wondering, was it a life or death scenario? Did it change your mindset, your perception on life? Do you see things differently? Do you drive differently? Do you feel different? Are you more protectant of yourself in your life? That's that life or death scenario that a man has to go through in order for him to stop cheating. Because most men don't learn their lessons because they feel like they got it. They're macho man. They have it all under control. I got it. I got it. I got it. Kind of like Kevin Hart, right? I don't know if you've ever seen that comedy stand up when he was like, I got it. I got it. I got it. Yep, 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 yep. On stage, right? Trying to kiss ass to women, especially if he cheated. Because You have to make up. You have to make up for that lost time, that loss of trust for a man. If he cheated, he's like, I got it, I got it, I got it. But most men don't got it. Even after they cheated and you've poured out your heart and you cried and you moaned and maybe you left or you did a separation and maybe you got divorced or you taking a break or you just working through it fresh of a cheating session between your man and his inner self. He cheated. He went outside of his relationship with you. The life or death scenario is what changes a man, changes any person, any human that goes through a life or death scenario will understand that I have to change. I will never, ever let this happen to me again, ever. I will never cheat on my woman again. She is the love of my life. I do not want to leave. I do not want her to leave me. I do not want to break up my family. He has to have that innate, internal perception of what life will look like without you. That can only be done through him and his eyes. He has to have that life or death scenario. And nine times, I always say 9 times out of 10 because it's always more than likely than not. If he has not gone through that, then he hasn't learned his lesson. He might apologize. He might do everything it takes to get you back on his side. But if you haven't been working on the relationship, if you're taking this man back and you are not working on that relationship, and when I say working on that relationship, ladies, you got to understand this man's needs. You have to understand what he wants, what fulfills him, what drives him, what motivates him, what makes him feel appreciated, what makes him feel respected. You need to know his needs, his standards, his wants. You need to know this man inside and out for you to understand completely what this man is thinking and what will prevent him from doing dumb shit. That's what you don't understand is that men need those needs met, whatever they are. Same thing like you. Same thing as you. You have needs. You have wants. You have standards. You have expectations of what a man is, what a man should do for you, what he shouldn't do for you, what he shouldn't do to you, what he should do to you, what he should do for the family. You have needs. Same thing as men. The problem is women don't see that. Women don't think that it's going to be only up to him to not cheat. It does have a factor involved of his cheating or not cheating. You play a big role in his life to help him make these decisions. Those decisions, whatever they are a reflection of what you do or you don't do in that relationship. I need you to understand that. If you don't, then it will never change. It will never change. He will never change. So how bad do you want this? How bad do you want this relationship? How bad do you want this man? How bad do you want to protect your heart for your next relationship? Oftentimes, women say, all men are the same. Men say the same thing. All women are the same. It's a beautiful person with a big butt and a great personality. They all feel the way you feel. So if that is true, then if you understand the principles behind a relationship, the principles about how to take care of someone, how to take care of yourself, most importantly, but how to take care of a man, then you can prevent the headache. Knowing that this, what I'm talking about, all men being the same, is true. If that is the case, that it never changes, that fact remains the same, then you can predict the future by playing your part. So it's a great question to ask yourself. Are you playing the part? Are you playing the role of a great wife, of a great mother in the household, of a great girlfriend? Are you taking care of your man, or is he taking care of you? Because if he's taking care of you, then who's taking care of him? How are you taking care of him? Are you fulfilling all his needs? Do you know him inside out? Are you helping him? These are things you got to ask yourself. So, what's the conclusion? Is it true or is it false that once a cheater, always is a cheater? If it was up to me, my answer is almost a yes. That is true. That it's more than likely, woman or man, if they have cheated before, it is possible to do it again. You know why? Because it's like a skill. It's anything in life. If you've never done it before, if you did it once, you can do it again. So I'm not saying, take my word for it, that every man will always cheat and is once a cheater, always a cheater for every relationship. I have to understand it. I have to understand your relationship. What part are you playing in? What are you not doing in the relationship? What is he not doing? What is he not contributing? My clients, as I counsel them, mind you, I'm a mindset coach, life coach, but also a therapist. And I see it every day. And I understand why men and women do the things they do. I don't know your story, but what I do know is facts. So let this guide you to understand how to move forward in your life and to be better protected. If you're a male watching or listening to this, the same is true for women. You have to protect your heart and you have to understand the basic necessities of humans and men or women. And you have to understand principle and universal law. That is what will help you. Now, if you enjoyed this podcast, go ahead and like and subscribe. I need you to follow up. But more importantly, I need you to share. Let this blow up. Let it go viral. Let more people understand the truth and the reality. Straight to the point, straight to the chase, understanding exactly what men think and what women think. Again, this is your number one podcast for women who need a sidekick and a voice for men. Your podcast, your one and only podcast code, bruh. Now, until next time, keep digging on yourself, keep on understanding yourself more and more and more. And I can guarantee you, you will achieve an abundance of peace and joy and love and relationships with people and family and friends. The whole world is yours. In Jesus' name, amen.